Now at 21 before the hour on America in the Morning, here's Jim Bohannon.
We're hearing so much about it, the Chinese coronavirus. So let's talk about that with medical doctor, Dr. Katie Jarvis, the CEO of bedbeacon.com. First of all, what is a coronavirus?
A coronavirus is a lot like the common cold. It's a virus spread by coughing and sneezing that causes a fever and pneumonia-like symptoms.
All right. Now, in that regard, does that make it particularly deadly? We're very concerned about all of this, and I've heard people tell me, I don't see any reason to be quite that concerned. It's not like the flu pandemic of a century ago that killed more people than World War I did. We've had a few hundred people die of this, and while that's tragic and we should try to work on it, it doesn't seem to these people like it's panic time. Are they right?
You're right that it's much less deadly than the Spanish flu or even the recent outbreak of SARS in 2003. But it will spread easily in this time frame of Chinese New Year with workers from their populated manufacturing cities going home to their rural cities in China. And then it is also something that has a long incubation period, meaning that you cannot have any symptoms and still spread the disease to people who are around you.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about a vaccine? Of course, that's the answer we commonly hear, even though we're all aware of the fact that the flu, for example, you get a vaccine 1 year, and then the next year, the darn flu is gone and adapted to the old vaccine. You got to get a new vaccine. So what about the prospect of a vaccine eliminating or at least minimizing the danger of this Chinese coronavirus?
Right now, we don't have a vaccine. There is a nasal spray that was created actually to fight Ebola, and it was found to also work in a Middle Eastern coronavirus, or a virus very similar to this current coronavirus. And so that's being used in Shanghai, but it's totally experimental at this point. And so we don't know what the outcomes will be of that until after this outbreak.
We're told that Chinese officials in the city of Wuhan have banned the sale of live animals. Apparently that somehow is connected to what is the suspected outbreak here. How does that work?
A few months ago, the Chinese reported that they found this virus in a bat. And so we believe that all of these viruses are similar in the way that they look, their genetics, to that bat virus. So we think it originated in a bat and then is spread to humans, and now we have this disease. Even the cases in America look similar to the bat from China.
Fair enough. Now then, what about the old common sense stuff? Maybe it's mom time here. Wash your hands and all the rest of that, to and include, as one caller indicated when you appeared on my nighttime talk show, what about wearing a face mask? So what about all of those common sense solutions?
Yes, so those common sense solutions are exactly what the CDC is recommending. So the CDC sounds a lot like my mom, and that they are saying if you are within 6 feet of somebody with this disease, you're more likely to be at risk. If you're caring for, living with, or sharing the same area with somebody who has this disease, then you're more at risk. So they recommend for anybody who's caring for somebody with that they wear gloves and a mask and an eye shield and a gown.
When stories like this come out, you will occasionally see people in the mall or on planes, and they may be wearing these face masks as well. Are we at that stage? I'm
avoiding places where somebody's coughing and trying to avoid places where I might have a lot of travelers come into the same area. And, you see in some of the countries over near China, they've canceled big events. So Shanghai Disney is closed and Beijing Forbidden City. Those are places where a lot of people would go from a lot of different places. And so it's a big melting pot of and people who stand in lines close to each other. So I'm avoiding lines with a lot of people who could cough on me.
Fair enough. And looking at the medical miracles, which of course we all assume that doctors have, you've got a magic wand, and that's how I think we treat you these days, when in fact, of course, you have some great tools, but no magic wand. Are we ever going to see the day when one vaccine will protect us against every virus for our lifetime?
I would love for that to happen, but I just don't see it happening in my lifetime. What I think is that we'll cure individual viruses, and we'll make great advances in the way that viruses replicate and stopping pieces of the viral transmission. But I don't think that we'll have one cure for all viruses because they change so easily.
Dr. Katie Jarvis, medical doctor, CEO at bedbeacon.com.